The Toronto Maple Leafs have had plenty to worry about over the last 50 years. But now a world-famous rapper wants to encroach on their territory and defile their name and brand? I don't think so. If you think Maple Leafs fans have gone through half a century of mediocrity, wasted potential, and Wayne Gretzky high-sticking Doug Gilmour for this, you've got another thing coming, buddy. I'll see you in court. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. Now, Snoop Dogg has become one of the biggest personalities in the National Hockey League recently, thanks to his entertaining antics around the league. Whether it's providing the music for the 2018 NHL All-Star Game and him using the uncensored versions of all of his songs to the dismay of the commentary team at the time, which was pretty funny, I'm not gonna lie, to him joining the LA Kings commentary team to provide some play-by-play and even colour commentary during an LA Kings broadcast, Snoop Dogg has gotten up to plenty of interesting adventures around the league. However, one of the league's original 6 franchises has started legal action against the rapper for his other business ventures. So the story we are looking at today comes from The Independent and is titled Snoop Dogg's Cannabis Company Facing Legal Battle from NHL's Toronto Maple Leafs Over Copying Logo. Not your typical hockey headline, is it? Nah, screw all the trade deadline rumours. We talk about the real nitty-gritty stuff here on the Odd Man Rush YouTube channel. You're welcome. Snoop Dogg has become embroiled in a legal quarrel with one of the NHL's biggest brands after the Toronto Maple Leafs opposed the rapper's bid to trademark his new cannabis company. Wow, the Leafs went in guns blazing, didn't they? Although I'd be careful in case Snoop Dogg does fight back and go on the offensive. I'm not sure the Maple Leafs defence will hold all that well, and Frederik Andersen will probably have to stand on his head to save the day yet again. Get it? Because the Leafs defence sucks. Overused hockey jokes. Hey! Please help me. I really need to stop this. Snoop, referred to in the legal paperwork for the trademark by his real name Calvin Brodus. Wait, so his name isn't actually Snoop Dogg? Huh. Well, he certainly had me fooled. Was attempting to protect the intellectual property and branding of his marijuana startup, Leafs by Snoop, and filed for a trademark in July last year. Leafs by Snoop? Well, it's not the most creative name he could have come up with, is it? Looks like somebody's been going to the Dr. Dre school of naming things. The Maple Leafs insist that the unusual spelling of Leafs could lead to confusion, and officially filed their opposition in December. Yeah, because it's so easy to confuse Snoop's cannabis company with one of the most famous hockey teams in the entire world. Yeah, I'm sure Canada's marijuana community is going to have a really tough time differentiating one from the other, and there's probably going to be loads of stoners out there that are going to be smoking Maple Leafs memorabilia by mistake, aren't they? Man, this is some good stuff, bro. Where'd you get it? Scotiabank Arena, next to the Austin Matthews jerseys. Sweet. Toronto's ice hockey franchise also had objections to the branding and logos being proposed by Mr. Brodus' new enterprise. Now, to be fair to the Maple Leafs, Snoop's logo does share some similarities in the presentation and the style compared to the Maple Leafs logo. Finally, a legitimate reason for this legal action. Took you guys long enough, didn't it? So, showing on the screen right now is the current Toronto Maple Leafs logo. No doubt most, if not all of you will recognise it. Now here is Snoop's logo. Look awfully similar, don't they? Sure, they are slightly different colours. Snoop's leaf is a marijuana leaf and not a maple leaf, and the fonts are slightly different styles, but they both have that same presentation of big white text on top of a leaf that is so synonymous with the Maple Leafs logo. Although I must say, Toronto's logo looks a hell of a lot better than what Snoop has come up with. It looks like Snoop Dogg spent 10 minutes playing around in Microsoft Paint, and this is the best he came up with. Believe me, I know that feeling. Have you seen most of the thumbnails on this channel? Not very good, are they? I like to think my talents are in front of the camera instead of in Photoshop, you know. The Maple Leafs were keen to emphasise that they had long-standing trademarks over the peculiar spelling of Leafs and felt Snoop Dogg's business, which launched in Colorado in November 2015, was infringing on their rights. Yeah, that's right, Snoop Dogg. Nobody gets to use bad grammar except for us. Oh, you want to try it, do ya? Well, we'll see you in court. Those royalty paychecks from your 20-year-old rap songs aren't gonna last you forever, are they, buddy? Now, in all seriousness, having looked at this whole situation, I can definitely see why the Toronto Maple Leafs have taken this course of action. The Maple Leafs are a long-standing hockey franchise, over a century old, and their fan base ranges from people of all different ages, sexes, races, political leanings, etc, etc. And having something like this happen and having a company try and use their logo and identity to try and sell their own product, which some people may or may not agree with, isn't the best PR for them, let's be honest. As a sports franchise, you want to be really careful when you get involved in non-sport related things, as it can often do you and your business a lot more harm than good, especially if your fans or the people that use your business don't agree with the stance you take on a certain subject. That said, if the Toronto Maple Leafs didn't file this lawsuit, then news outlets around the country and around the world wouldn't be reporting on this and bringing this whole situation to light, which would have meant that quite a lot of hockey fans around the world wouldn't have known that this was a problem. I certainly would have. Without this article, I would have had no idea that Leafs by Snoop even existed, let alone the fact that it was trying to look very similar to the Toronto Maple Leafs logo. To be honest, I don't think the two demographics really cross that much, and I don't think anybody would have made the comparison between Leafs by Snoop and the Toronto Maple Leafs logo, because they don't really care whether it's similar or not. It seems to me that the Toronto Maple Leafs kind of shot themselves in the foot with this one, as they could have waited until somebody actually brought this to the public attention, if they did so, and then acted on it and begun legal proceedings against them. But now the fact that they've actually gone and done this, they've had to take this stance with, we don't accept this and we don't want to be associated with this. Because otherwise, the Toronto Maple Leafs organisation will be seen as a team and a business that is okay with being associated with a drug distribution company, which isn't the best PR for them, and I'm not sure they'd be happy with having that distinction. But if they'd just left it alone, then I don't think there would have been this problem unless somebody from the public eye actually brought this to attention and then it went viral or something like that, you know? Sure, marijuana is legal in Canada now and in some US states, so it's less of a legal issue regarding the drug itself than if we did this, say, 5 years ago. However, this is a conversation that I don't think the Maple Leafs wanted to or needed to get involved in. All this is going to do with the stance that they're taking, it's going to bring up the big conversation about whether marijuana should be legal or whether recreational drugs should be used, which is going to cause the fans of their franchise to go one side or the other, you know? It's just going to cause negative press, fan backlash, and problems that they wouldn't have had if they hadn't have chased this. I get the fact that they want to defend their brand and defend their trademark and their copyright and everything, but I don't think this is the best way to do it, though. Taking them to court to do this, I think just opens a can of worms that I think the Maple Leafs didn't really need to open in the first place. So yeah, you didn't really need to do this, Maple Leafs. That's my opinion. So I think if there's anything to be learnt from this whole thing, it is this. If you are going to set up a business that deals with products, whilst legal in several places, are still seen as a very taboo issue nowadays, try to avoid your logo and your branding resembling a century-old hockey franchise. In doing so, you're just going to bring yourself and the other party a ton of problems, plenty of lawyers, legal issues aplenty, and it's just going to cause everybody loads of problems. Whereas if you just spent a little bit more time in the studio creating and making your own logo and your own branding, you could have avoided this whole situation. And with that, I am going to end today's video. What do you think about the Toronto Maple Leafs taking legal action against Snoop Dogg and his marijuana business? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear what you guys think. But thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you have enjoyed. Please feel free to like, subscribe, share, or watch some of my other videos. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye. A big thank you to Chris Gadsby, Kalesbro, Max Artis, and Nat Marlowe, as well as a huge thank you to Ryan Todd for helping support this video via Patreon. If you too want to help support the channel a little bit further and get a shout out at the end of every future video, make sure you head over to patreon.com/oddmanrush and become a patron today.